today. Well, there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget those who died and gave that right to me, and I'm glad we stand up next to you and defend us still today. Well, there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. It seems like only yesterday when I was 21, in a uniform, carrying a gun. They sent me to a foreign land. Winning the war was the master plan. That foreign land was Vietnam. Throughout the history of our great nation, many men and women have served in the armed forces, and many gave their lives for our freedoms and the American way of life. They come from the four corners of America and from all walks of life. They defended our freedoms on the battlefields of World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. And today they serve in Afghanistan and Iraq. So join us as we salute all those brave men and women, and let us never forget, all gave some, and some gave all. Today, well, there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome to the Watchdog Report. I'm Ciffone, Yorktown Watchdog, President of the United Taxpayers, and veteran. I wanted to play that song in memory of all the military who passed away in all our wars and conflicts. And Memorial Day, we walked in the parade, and I carried a picture of Nick, who was also a veteran during the Korean War. And all I know is that it seems to be getting longer and longer. It was hotter and hotter. Can change to one now, Den? Change it? Okay, thank you. Again, I carried Nick's picture when I was marching. He died last year about this time, and we miss him. And to all those veterans out there, I hope when you come back, you find jobs, you take care of yourself. They're talking about 22 veterans dying a day. I don't know how that's happening. But we need God to put peace on this earth. We're all proud to be Americans because we're free. all those other countries around the world, they're fighting, they're killing each other. And Americans try to give them some air support to stop this ISIS threat. So let me continue the show now. Oh, let me tell you about George Pataki, ex-governor of the state of New York, is running for President of the United States. He was a great governor when he was here. Some of his programs are still around. The STAR program he initiated in 1997. That's tax relief, school taxes for seniors and other people who make under $500,000 a year. So I don't know, there's 14, 15 people are running in the Republican Party. I don't know why they just can't pick one person instead of going through this primary stuff. When the Democrats, Hillary Clinton, I just can't believe that she has an opportunity to become President of the United States of America. Well, we'll see how it goes. We got till November 2016 and see what happens. Look at the federal government. They don't leave you alone. Common Core, remember that? Obamacare, remember that? There's so many things now that are in court that may be reversed because Mr. Obama uses his own presidential authority to push all these programs. Another one was immigration. That's what I was trying to think of. So maybe the courts will do it. We have the same problem as there are in the federal government. We have Michael Grace, who's supervisor of the town, who's a lawyer, who's used his expertise as being a lawyer to pass a bond issue, $2.6 million, without the people. He just met now with Spectra Pipeline. I call it a bribe. So he did it in executive session where they want to give the town $1.5 million. What had happened all this time, the last 2 years of the pipeline, the townspeople and the other governments where the pipeline is going to go through decided that they're going to bypass the people and go on Granite Knolls. Now, Granite Knolls is parkland that was bought for $7 million. We paid taxes on it, $3 million. We paid taxes for the guy for 2 years of $150,000. So they wanted to put a section of that, 26 acres, where they could put all their equipment and take out the pipe and put a pigging station, which is a cleaning station, on there. Before the election, that was all gone. The pipeline people, companies said that they wouldn't use the land. They would just use their land that's 75 feet on both sides of the pipeline to take the pipe out. Hazmat uniforms. They would conceal the pipe in some kind of plastic so it wouldn't get in the air. So now they met secretly with the town board. This supervisor, let me tell you what he did now. This 1.5 million, I call it a bribe because it wasn't there in the beginning. Now they're going to use the land. They can't use the land unless they get the state approval, or the federal government takes it as their own property, eminent domain. I'm so angry at this supervisor. I liked him, I voted for him, and now he's doing some crazy things. He wants to move the highway department to the sewer plant for $4 million. If you have a chance, go down to Kerr Street, where the town highway department is, and see the beautiful building they have and all the 8 entrances for the trucks. It's all there. It's all confined. It's in the middle of town where it's supposed to be. And why they want to move it and spend all that money is beyond me. But again, he's a lawyer. Now, he did it already with the 2.6 bond issue. They already took this $1.5 million from Spectrum. And he could do the same thing moving the garage without the people. Now, we had a meeting at the UTY last night, the United Taxpayers of Yorktown, and we're fed up, and we're going to send a letter out as soon as possible to all the people in the town, connecting the dots where everybody with Grace is connected. There's people on the zoning board. Gordon Fine used to work with Al Capolini. Al Capolini seems to have control of many developing projects. Dan D'Arcia, who rents space in Grace's building, he's an engineer for certain developers, especially Al Capolini. And then you got Bill Gregory, used to be building department leader. Now we have this guy John Winters, who used to be with Bill Gregory. So you connect all these dots that are happening. Then now, my understanding is this: Alice Roker, the town clerk, is retiring. Now, in the last 3 years, she's gotten a $15,000 raise from $81,000 to $96,000. So when she retires, she's going to get a better pension if they would have kept her where it was at. So now her position is open. Now connect the dots. Mary Fucci, who is the secretary for Grace, is now going to run for that position against Diana Quest, who's been there for 12 years and did most of the town board meetings. And I don't know how true this is. This is just a rumor that if his secretary wins and becomes town clerk, they'll raise her salary more than $96,000. And Alice Roker will become the new secretary for Michael Grace. And let's see if the Democrat will change parties like the rest of these people do. I get out of the Republican Party committee because I've seen this coming. They just want rubber stamps. And listen, it said in the paper that it was a 3-2 vote to take this money. Greg Bernard said it was a no-brainer because they could take that money, build ball fields, and then we have to maintain the ball fields, secure the ball fields, all this stuff. And of course, Tom Diana, we said, is a rubber stamp. It looks like that's the way it's going to go. So we don't know. Grace has until the November election to stay in office for another 2 years. If Vishnu Patel, who's running for supervisor, can pull a win for supervisor we will be back to almost normal. We will see as the campaigns go if Bishop Patel can get maybe 5 issues that he knows what's going on and run against Grace, who, again, with the Republican committee, may get money from New York State. Now, Dean Sellos, who just got arrested up in Albany, that's who gave all the money down here for Terrence Murphy with his Senate campaign. Him and Sheldon Silver from the Assembly got arrested. Folks, corruption is everywhere, and it looks like it's hit the town of Yorktown. We're going to have to go to the State Attorney General. We're going to have to go to Janet DeFiore, the county attorney, district attorney, to find out what's going on here. We don't have much time to November to bring out all these people who are connected. Every time you see a developer come up, every time you see that they want to change things without the people's consent, to me that's special interest and that's corruption. We're going to have to prove it. You know, he's smart, he's a lawyer, how to get around these things. He even has Judge Lagonia from the Yorktown Justice Court as a renter in his building. Dan Diorcia, I told you, the engineer, is in the building. And then they had the paper, the Yorktown News was there. Now they're out of that building. Now, in Town Hall, they used to have the Examiner all the time. It's a free paper. And now it seems like they got the Yorktown News in there. We will see if the newspapers become one-sided, biased, but this is going to be a serious problem. Listen, I also want to tell you that this is the next to the last show of the Watchdog Report. Now, 8 years of feeling the power, having Dennis Tate as my director, having Nick DiTomaso doing the show, the Senior Forum, up till last year when he passed away. But now, Dennis Tate, last night at the UTY meeting, says he can't afford to live in Yorktown anymore and he decided to sell his house and will be leaving in May. So I think I'll have one more show and maybe we can give a summary of all the people we had on. And Dennis, again, I want to say thank you for 8 years of your service for the people in Yorktown and for the United Taxpayers of Yorktown. This has been a venue to get out information to the people, and now we're going to have to find a new way of doing it, or find maybe someone else can direct my show, even part-time. And instead of having a new show every week, maybe I'll have it every couple of weeks or once a month. But we got to keep the information flowing out there. Every time there's a board meeting, they come up with new things that are happening that's going to cost the taxpayers a fortune. Now look, when Susan Siegel was in there for 2 years, okay, the taxes went up a couple $100,000. It was like 49,000 million, 50 million when she left, I think it was. When Michael Grace took over, it went from 51 to 57 million, and that's not counting the police contracts are up this year and CSEA contracts up this year. The only person in 3 years that I know of that didn't get a raise as an employee is me. I work for the Justice Court as a court attendant, and I haven't received an increase, and having some problems at the court. And I know that I'm President of the United Taxpayers. I'm outspoken. I have a thick skin, and these people try to do things to me. We even had one chief of police who went for his gun at a picnic. I've told you this before. And he said he was going to show me through the effing fence. And he's no longer police chief. And I told you that his wife came up to me during the same picnic screaming at me. I ruined her husband's thing. Can you believe they're doing anger management themselves? They having people come to them if they have anger management problems. It's unbelievable. This world is really crazy. And listen, again, even with the federal government, I know we got a while to go yet, but listen to all the things that are happening and vote for the best person that you listen to. And again, I ran 12 times for the school board. I didn't run again this time. The two incumbents were in there. The two ladies are pretty good people. But only 1,100 people voted in the Yorktown School District, where it was 0.50 increase, and 1,100 people or so in the Lakeland School District. The Yorktown people in the Lakeland School District went up 2.3%. The other 4 or 5, I think it's 5 other different districts went down, had a decrease. So I've been doing this for 25 years. Since 1990, when my youngest son got out of Yorktown High School, and I wanted to volunteer my time free to the school district. And at those times, the increases were double figures, and bond issues were, one was 51 million. We decreased it to 37 million by fighting it. Another one was 33 million. So if you go into the school buildings and look around, we have a beautiful school system. Now, Michael Grace says there's no attractions here to bring in people. They want to put that building up at Depot Square. Bottom floor, stores, rentals on top, and affordable housing on the 3rd floor. We don't need this. And Costco, the last thing we heard that Costco may be in 2016. That's a long time for those people to wait. And they're being sued now by the local gas station owners because the town approved the gas stations and they approved the sewer district. And right next door, again, another development, Mandalay it's called, and it's right next to Costco, off of 202, off of Old Crampon Road. And again, Dan Diarcia is the engineer, and developer is named Miller. I've never heard of him before, but they want to put stores in there. And it looks like the 16 owners of the properties in there are for it. I don't know if they're going to sell their properties to this person to put this stores and buildings in there. And they also they wanted to put a municipal building. They got to take care. If they build a building, they got to take care of it. They use this as a way, again, to bribe the town. Yeah, we'll give you recreation. Yeah, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. Just remember, the pipeline never offered to put these baseball fields and lacrosse fields up. And Michael Grace just lied through his teeth. And we've been at all those meetings. And now, I guess they're going to put the pig station, the cleaning station back there. They're going to clear 7 acres to put all the equipment back there. And all over the objections of most of the people in Yorktown. Money isn't everything, especially a bribe. Now, here's another one. The school district, full-day kindergarten. The state gave them $1.5 million to establish kindergarten. One time. And now we're paying for it, and the school district says it's in the budget, don't worry about it. It's unbelievable how these governments can do this. Oh, I don't have it with me here, but the Tappan Zee Bridge, it's going to cost billions of dollars, almost $4 billion. And what does the governor do? The governor puts a $2 billion proposition for votes for Common Core, for technology, and it passes. We don't even know how much. Now, would you have voted for that or $2 million towards the construction of the Tappan Zee Bridge? They're talking about $14, $15 to get across each way. So, folks, again, I want to thank Dennis. It was a shocker last night that he's now going to leave. I wish him the best of luck. And the town, will we keep fighting? And we'll get this letter out. Connect the dots. All the people that are involved with Michael Grace, who gets all these things done using legal lawyer tactics to get these things done. I'll try to keep you abreast of what's happening, attending the town board meetings. And I just want to end this that Nick Wojciech, who had his case on the appeal of his neighbor next to him, won it, and it's still in court. It's over a year. So it's another friend. Connect the dots to the person who owns that house, Saba, with Michael Grace. So let's see if we can put all those dots together and show you how we lost Yorktown and we're losing Yorktown in the next year. I want to thank you for watching. Just remember, Nick, remember we have the power to vote, but they seem like they're doing away with it. They got special ways of doing away with it. So thank you for watching. And please, next week, we'll have our show, our last show, and we'll do a summary of all the people we had on for the last 8 years. Thanks for watching.
Well, there ain't no doubt about this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea,
From Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart,
and it's time we stand and say